Hey everyone, it's Varush. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here with you guys today to talk about Venus and Sirius rising together for the first time, really, for many of us who live in particular latitudes. I'll get to that in a minute. What's special about this year is that Venus and Sirius are rising together and at around the same time, depending on where you live. And so I wanted to spend some time with this energy because I'm not sure if we really got through it well yet. So I just thought it would be a nice time to celebrate. Also, to be honest, I don't like how the energy is quite intense in August. So there's a lot of serious energy for us to talk about. And I think it would be nice to have like a day of celebration, which today is. And it's a wonderful time to just put our minds to some positive directions with some positive information. You guys are really tough with me with my realistic, hard-hitting astrology based on facts. But I know that can be a bit much at times, and trust me, I feel you on this. So actually, right now, yesterday, today, tomorrow, it's a really wonderful time because we have two major astrological events happening at the same time. So first, there's Sirius rising, which is happening yesterday or maybe today. I actually started filming this, like a filmed version of this, but I got really tired. We have weird air pollution. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's forest fires in my whole province. I'm safe, but there's cities like Kelowna that are under evacuation. So just like in Maui, it's really intense. And the sky is seems like cloud, but it's smoke, and the sun is turning orange shades. So we always get fires in BC now. It's pretty common, but this one's really strong. So yesterday I got just tired from everything. I took a bit of a slower day, and so I never finished filming all my all signs for you guys, which we're going to do today live. And so what I thought I would do is the ones that I filmed, I saved, and then there's still a few signs to read. So how about I will finish those and provide it for the members. So in a day or two, I'll finish the rest and then put them together for a members only all sign reading for your August offering, because this is a nice energy, right? So we've talked about Sirius as the new year of the ancients, but maybe taking it forward a bit to the ancient Greeks. What happened was, because of the precession of the equinox, the point at which the weather changed to more positive for harvest and for agriculture, by the time the Greeks were around, that was the height of summer then. And so the Greeks associated Sirius with the scorcher. They called it the scorcher. And so this, is really in alignment with what's happening now. But I do think that the heavy Leo energies are astrologically behind. I know it's a natural event caused by global warming, but these events of these fires all around us, are in Leo season, when we have a particularly intense Leo season. Anyway, so Sirius rising on the 17th, 18th, 19th. It will be visible by about the 22nd through maybe the 27th. And it's a new year, as we said before. Today's astrology, by the way, isn't really intense, so it's going to be quite quick. But anyway, I just want to get everyone on the same page. And then we'll do the all sign reading. Sorry. I feel like today started like Kramer. I'm just like all over the place. Anyway, so Sirius rising at about this time on the 17th, 18th, 19th, and it'll start to become really visible depending on, where you're at by about Oh, excuse me. No, sorry. Depending on your latitude. I'll explain that in a minute. Sorry, I got myself into anyway. So New Year, and I really want to acknowledge, because I think there's some misunderstanding about the rising of Sirius. Someone connected it to Celtic harvest festivals, which are when people would gather crops. It's not a harvest festival, because it was actually marking the beginning of their season. That's when they would plant crops. So it was like the opposite side of things. The really dry season had ended, the flood came, and then it was time to grow crops again. So it was really the moment of salvation. So for the ancients, this was a new year. Then we have Venus heliacal rising. This is what's happening on the 17th, 18th, 19th. See, I even got messed up, but of August. And then it will be visible for you guys, depending on visibility, depending on a bunch of like factors, by about the 22nd through 27th of August. And so Venus heliacal rising happens when we have Venus retrograde. So Venus retrograde joins the sun, and as she emerges from on the other side of the earth in the morning, before sunrise, we have this event every few years. However, in Leo, it happens every 8 years, but we'll get to that. This observation has a lot of nuance to it between the phases of Morningstar and Evening Star, and I did a whole playlist on Venus retrograde and its heliacal rising already, so you can go into the description. I already linked the playlist there. If you've missed it, I did an all sign. I did a bunch of short videos for it, so you can watch those, and they're in the playlist. And then I did a all sign, so you have a personal message. That was for the Cazimi, when Venus joined the sun. And then I did an in-depth explanation of Venus retrograde cycle. And if you want to know more about that specifically, you can check that out there. But basically, Venus rises in Leo as the morning star every 8 years. It's a part of this larger cycle that she is in between retrograde inferior conjunctions and superior conjunctions, when she connects with the sun and switches the side of the horizon that she rises on, the east and the west. And so whenever she's retrograde, she begins to rise in the east, and every 8 years this happens in Leo for a period of time. And as we can see, this year we have the extra spice of Lilith right in the middle. That's what I think a lot of the forest fires have to do with, possibly as well, the darkness of that energy, but definitely all the predatory stuff we talked about 2 days ago or whatever. Okay, and so the important thing about what is distinct about this time is that Venus and Sirius happen to be rising together. It's a synchronicity, but it's a very special one. It's not something that happens all the time. And this is the year in which this happens for many of us for the first time. So this is special. So basically, Venus emerges at about 2 degrees off its previous position every single time it creates this inferior conjunction and this morning rise. So this means she's not going to stay in Leo forever, and she sort of drifts back in terms of when she's rising or at what position. So we just happen to live at a time when this is happening, and Sirius rises annually. It also drifts, but in a much longer scale. So the fact that they're happening together is very special. The new year, and then also the energy shift between the evening star and the morning star. And I'll get to that in a minute, because I want to make sure you guys understand it, and I'll direct you to where you can find out more about that. Anyway, so the first time this simultaneous rise happened is 1999. But that was for the really southern latitudes, because Sirius does not rise at the same time for all of us. It has a different heliacal rise based on latitude, and I'll get to that in a minute. And it's going to keep happening until about 2095. Excuse me, I made a mistake. In 1999, Sirius and Venus rose at the same time for the northern latitudes, and it's moving south instead of north. So those of you who are, that's my mistake, sorry, at 45 degrees north or 40 degrees north, if you live in the northern latitudes, this is still not happening for you together, but it's going to happen hopefully within your lifetime, and I'll get to that. So this simultaneous rise is happening for the first time in our lifetimes, and it's very rare and very special. And we have these two energies, the new year and the shift of energies between the evening energy and the morning energy, which is very active, very forward moving energy. So the new year with the forward moving energy of the Morningstar is extremely potent and powerful. And so it's happening together. So I want to do a reading for you guys, and I have a special spread that I figured out for today. Anyway, so I just want to go over the dates just to be clear. Sorry, I hope I didn't confuse anyone. But in 2023, Venus and Sirius are rising for the first time together for my latitude, Vancouver, 50 degrees north. If you live at 45 degrees north, which is just south of us here, which is the majority of the world, actually. Not the majority of the world, but the most populous places that watch my channel, let's put it that way. That rise, that simultaneous rise, won't really start happening until 2039. So in a few decades, or a decade and a bit. And then if you live at 40 degrees north, then this simultaneous rise will not start until 2063. So it's going to still be a minute before they sync up together. So that drift of when Venus is rising has to adjust for your location, or when Sirius is rising has to adjust for, no, Venus has to adjust for your location. Okay, so let's get this clear. In 1999, for the northernmost latitudes, Venus and Sirius began to rise together in Leo every 8 years. And over the decades, it has slowly, that synchronicity has slowly began to move down. And then until this year, when they started rising together for 50 degrees north. Now, if you live in Australia, New Zealand, Southern Hemisphere places, if you live north of 25 degrees south, then that rising of Sirius happens earlier for you than I've mentioned. But if you live south of 25 degrees south in the Southern Hemisphere, Sirius is actually circumpolar, which means it never sets. It's a high-placed star in your sky. So this energy, you can enjoy it with us, but just know that you always have the dog star in your skies for the majority of you in the Southern Hemisphere. So I don't know if I mentioned this because I got a little mixed up, but if you want to find out when Sirius is rising for your northern latitudes, I did a whole short video on this. It's like a minute long, but it has all the details. So it's in the description, and what you do is you go on Google and you say, I live in Los Angeles, what is my latitude? Google will give you the latitude, and then you can go to my video, find the latitude of that, and then you will know exactly for your region where that is. Now you will get in between latitudes also, like 43 degrees north. So pick the latitude that you're closest to, and just know that that rise of the Sirius star will happen somewhere in between those days. It's very, this whole idea of when is the exact day, it's kind of funny because it's dependent upon a lot of things like visibility, angle, all these different things. So don't get stressed out about having the precise day perfect, okay? And so another thing that I want to say, speaking of perfection, you guys have heard me say stuff about Venus rising and how it's, there's a lot of discrepancies about when it rises. And I just wanted to address it today. So Venus is going through an energetic shift between the evening star and the morning phase now. And so people are getting confused between a couple different traditions. Anybody who's telling you it has to be that specific time is just picking favorites. And if they're not saying that there's other traditions that have a different degree at which Venus supposedly rises, they're not telling you the complete truth. They're just telling you it's propaganda, right? It's their opinion. So they should tell you that this is the degree I use and this is why or whatever. But the other thing I've noticed is that people don't really understand the difference between combustion and in the beams of the sun, which means this in ancient astrology, there was differentiation between where a planet was in relation to the sun. When the planet was really close to the sun, it was called combust, and this is a term that gets mixed up within the beams. And there's also variance on when different astrologers considered a planet combust, and the variance typically is between 5 to 8.5 degrees. This is when astrologers considered that a planet was so close, or a transit was so close to the sun, that it became combust, it burnt up and lost all its energy. However, the larger orbs from, let's say, 8.5 degrees to about 17 degrees was considered in the beams, and it was also considered invisible. It was still considered afflicted, and there's various different perspectives on that. And so people get confused between combustion and in the beams, and they're two separate things. So be aware of that. And then in the beams had variation also between 12 to 17 degrees, where astrologers thought that a planet was afflicted. So when I say, I'm just trying to clarify because there has been questions and there's misinformation out there. When I say there's inconsistency, it's a long tradition of inconsistency. And so it's important to, if you want to be specific, then you need to be specific. And I'm not actually that specific as an astrologer. Some things I think work well together and I'll go with that. But sometimes I let a concept go in order to, when I see stuff working together. So if you're getting confused about when Venus is rising, I actually looked it up astronomically instead of using astrology all completely. And so technically Venus rises on August 17th and the 18th. And then we begin to see her, like there's enough darkness in the sky for us to see her by about the 22nd through the 26th. So that's the real gist. I don't like the politics of this. I think it's a lot of ego stroking. So that's and I think it confuses people. So combustion's great if you use it with reason, but if you're appealing to authority and you're trying to just wave it over other people's heads and you're inconsistent with its use vis-a-vis different transits, I don't know what your point is. So if you're wondering when Venus technically emerges as the morning star, it's on the 17th and 18th, okay? So I do want to mention, for those of you guys who are only catching this now, what is the difference between evening star and morning star? I actually did a very in-depth video about Venus retrograde already, and I'm not going to go over all of this now, but it's in the playlist. So if you go in the Venus retrograde playlist, I have a detailed explanation on figuring out how you know if you are an evening star and morning star. And this shift actually affects you differently based on where your Venus is. So as you see here, Venus is behind the sun, right? Venus is behind the sun. When she's behind the sun, she is a morning star. When she moves in front of the sun, so all the transits are moving in this direction like this, so anything in front of the sun, she becomes the evening star, right? So all of us are born in these two, basically all of us are born in two phases of Venus, unless you were born in a combustion, which is rare, very rare. I'll talk about that in some other time. But it affects you differently if you are an evening star. So if your Venus is ahead of the sun in your chart, then this event affects you differently than when she's behind the sun and you're a morning star. If you're a morning star, you will be feeling much more energized now. You'll feel like the last 9 months was intense or maybe slow moving. You wanted to draining even at times. And if you're an evening star, know that this is your time to decompress, to let life happen, and to prepare yourself in 9 months to kind of be in your element again. It's not that if you are one side or the other, life gets terrible for 9 months, but there's an energetic shift between the two, and I think it's important to acknowledge. So if you want to find out if you're an evening star or a morning star, if you don't understand what I just said, go watch the video, Venus Retrograde, the full 1 hour session, and I explain that there. It's in the second third of the video or something like that, third, fourth. It's about maybe 40 minutes in, and the second half 60% in, somewhere over there. So the only other thing that I have to kind of mention for this energy is that it's also very special that there was a conjunction with the sun at 23 degrees. We did an all sign on that, but there's so much happening around these degrees, 20th degree, 23rd degree, where all these things are happening, that they're referencing some very specific dates that are going to be important for you. So I want to mention them. I mentioned them somewhere else, but I have something else to say about them. So sorry if this is a repeat, but some people have missed it. So as far back, I'm not looking too far back, just 2011. This was the shift in this area of the sky where she became the evening star. So all of you who are evening stars, you had that energy was kind of in your favor. I hate saying one's good, one's bad, but you were more in alignment with that energy. And so this is where you want to find out if you're an evening star or a morning star. In 2015, we had another Venus retrograde in Leo, and this was the last one that began at 0 degrees of Virgo, and it was conjunct the fixed star Regulus, which is a very important star, the star of kings, very symbolic. Regulus in 2011 had shifted between Leo into Virgo, so it's no longer in Leo, and it stars move very slow, so this was a huge shift. So Regulus in 2011, when the superior conjunction happened, excuse me, shifted into Virgo. And then in 2015, when the last conjunction retrograde cycle happened in Virgo and Leo, beginning in Virgo, these two events coincided, this massive shift of energy between Regulus and Leo and the conjunctions that were happening in Virgo, or at least the Venus retrograde cycles that began in Virgo. So that Virgo energy sort of got phased in through the Regulus star, where there's this very benefic star that has entered Virgo. Virgos, holler, you guys are, great energy. And then conversely, the Venus retrograde cycles, these reset points, are now fully in Leo for the next century or so, for a long time. Okay, so that's important. Just understand that there's a shifting of focus. The star moves into Virgo, and the retrogrades move over into Leo. Bye-bye, Virgo. You guys don't get any more retrogrades. These are huge changes, so all Leos can agree that the last couple weeks have been intense. So it's good because it's regenerative, but it's also a lot. So Virgos are off the hook for a while on that one. Then in 2019, there was another superior conjunction, again switching from the morning star to the evening star. So in 2019, this was particularly potent for people who have evening star Venus. And then in now moving forward after this time, we get the next superior conjunction because they iterate inferior superior every 4 years. They switch sides, and so in 2027 we get a superior conjunction in Leo in this area of the sky when so that will be the next shift change, the next emergence of Venus as the evening star. So the superior conjunctions 2011, 2019, 2027 are supportive of evening star energy, whereas 2015, 2023 are energies supportive of morning star energy. So find out which one you are. This applies to you. There's also an eclipse on the in 2026 in August in Leo at 20 degrees. Venus won't be in this area of the chart though, but Sirius is going to rise at the same time. So I think it is all connected. It's a very intricate synchronicity. Venus is going to be over here in Libra, but it's going to be transformational. So look at those dates, see how they weave in and out of your life, and see what the pattern is. There's going to be some big event in 2026, a catalyst event with that eclipse tied to everything that we're seeing now. So I thought this was fun for us to talk about this way. I don't have anything else to say about that, but I do have a spread that we can do for tarot if you guys are interested. This isn't really an astrology observation. This is well, it is astrology, sorry, but this isn't like, how do I say it? Like an astrological chart. This is a astrological event that happens every few years. And so I found this selenite, which I love this little bead. It's like my little bead of selenite. I found it after a long time. So why don't we do a reading for every single sign? I have a special spread. I called it the Heliacal Spread, but you guys have probably seen me do a similar spread. It's just the meaning that is attached to it is attached to this rising. Let's pick the sign that we're reading for first, okay? Oh, and by the way, if you guys don't mind, comment, like, if you're appreciating this, if you're enjoying the content. This is really helping. I'm coming back from not being around so much, so the analytics are killing my videos. So another thing you can do is unsubscribe and resubscribe, turn on notifications, because what happens if you don't see me for a while, the algorithm may not know to send you notifications that I'm posting something. And because I haven't been around for a while, then there could be miscommunication. So, unsubscribe, resubscribe, comment, comment when the video's posted, whenever you thank you, and I hope you enjoy it. So I'm excited to be back. And I have to say thank you so much for all your guys' comments and friendship. It's like a long time coming. Venus retrograde. I'm back, y'all. And I'm excited to be here. Okay. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the content I'm making, which was a big part of why I started slowing down, because it started feeling sort of monotonous. And so now I feel like I'm fully engaged and my mind's engaged, and I think the content's dense, which is good. Like there's stuff to think about and not some silly little, the full moon, the new moon, which are wonderful energies, but like it feels like a little bit more substance. So I like that. I hope you guys do too. Okay, so let's see. First we have my little weirdos, Aquarians. Let's take a look at your Heliacal Spread. This is just tarot today, no astrology, okay? So remember, do watch that video to find out evening star, morning star energy. They're two different energies, and you'll experience them differently depending on that shift. Okay, so let's see what's going on for Aquarian energy. First center card, Two of Swords, Moon in Libra. Who knows these cards? I'm just curious if anyone knows what cards I'm using. I'm not going to say. I left a little light beam open. Otherwise, my camera will overheat. But I wanted to have a little light hitting our table today. So we have Two of Swords. So this is Moon in Libra. And so I have a feeling that you have some major decisions ahead. You have some major decisions about how to plan your life, where to take things further, where you want to go next. I think that there's big plans ahead. And I think that I'm really getting the sense that this is a time when you're still taking in information. How many of you guys watched me for a while and possibly remember the good old days when I was telling you guys about how Aquarian intuition is kind of sensitive and picks up on information before it happens, before it settles in. And sometimes Aquarians have this feeling that something is coming. They have this premonition feeling, and it's even before anything happens, so they don't even know what it's about. And so I have a feeling that that intuition is going off the radar for you, or turning on your radar right now, and that you sense that things are coming, but you just don't have the information, the full information yet. So be patient with that. The next energy is the Two of Wands. So this is the energy above, okay? And then we have the Judgment card, which is Pluto. Okay, and this is Pluto. Well, you've gone through, Aquarius, a major letting go period, a major catharsis. You've had this huge purge in your life. I think you're hoping that something is going to come to you soon. You're either hoping or waiting for a person. You're waiting for someone to come to you. There's just this lingering desire for someone or something to come towards you. So a specific person that you're waiting for. Then we have the Prince of Pentacles, Prince of Discs. And then we have the Six of Wands, which is success. Okay, that's wonderful. I have a feeling that someone is coming towards you with a really great attitude. Here, maybe I can, let me see if I can, so you guys can see better. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands. Someone's coming in with a wonderful attitude. They really like you. Someone's showing up as an ally. Somebody's showing up as a good friend. I think you're emerging as someone who's a little bit in charge of their environment within this energy. By the way, this is for the next 9 months. I didn't say it in the beginning. I should have. I forgot. So this is for this phase of Morningstar Venus, and this year ahead for Sirius rising. But the Prince of Discs is you emerging. It feels like you're coming up as like a little bit of a boss, a little bit in charge. And, you have something going on that's of a financial nature. It's kind of exciting in terms of new beginnings. Right away, it seems as though you've been through a lot, Aquarius. And it seems as though it's not yet time at this time for you to make concrete plans yet. I think things are really up in the air for you, and I think we still have some time to wait and see. Then we have the Mage, which is the Magician, and then we have the King of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and then we have the Princess of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And then we have the Three of Swords. So I'm going to take you guys through a glimpse of what will happen over the next year. From now on until the winter time, it's likely you will initiate something very important in your life. There's a initiation of something that's taking you towards probably some kind of business opportunity, some type of business prospect, okay? So there's something ahead for you to reach towards. And then through the winter time, I think that some of you are going to enter into a significant relationship. You're going to become closer. A person's going to become very important to your lives. There's going to be this coming together of people. And I think that it will in some way be significant. So through the winter time, I think that you're meant to come together with someone. And then in the springtime, it's going to be the time when you apply the most energy. This is going to be the time when you put your goals into your life, start making plans for business opportunities and where you are taking things. Some of you might be in the process of getting married, having children, and so in the springtime is most likely when you will try to do that. If you feel yourself that you're coming closer into a relationship, by the springtime you might be settling down with someone. And in the summertime next year, I think that a situation from the past will emerge. It's not going to be a repeat event, but that's going to be when you do a lot of healing and getting over a situation that was very difficult for you in the past, and something that you're probably sitting with right now, or that you're feeling that that's your big thing to work through and get ahead. But I don't think you should be planning right now too clearly in terms of what it's going to be. I think you need to see if the things that you're hoping for come in for you in the way that you want them. And then you'll see how that will all result. Okay? So thank you guys for watching, and go check out the other videos if you haven't already. Okay, so this is about, I should have said this, maybe I'll write it in the description after I post, or in the comments. So this is for the year ahead, and so this begins now. Okay, and really for the next 9 months in this Morningstar phase. Okay, so now let's see the next energy. So we have the next energy for Pisces. Hey Pisces, let's take a look at your tarot cards. Your tarot card reading. So we have the Prince of Discs in the center. So you two are very focused in the practical world. You're very focused in the practical world. You're really trying to achieve something concrete, make money. Your primary needs are very important for you at this time. You're ready to make money, to be successful, and to achieve the things that you want in a monetary way. In the outward energy, we have the Four of Swords. Okay? Four of Swords. So there's some much needed rest that you require right now. So if we think of higher forces over you at this time, they're really saying that this is a time in which you need to rest and take care of yourself. Maybe you've had a very busy time in the recent past. And then we have the Last Judgment below. You too have gone through a big kind of cleaning out of the soul of the heart. That South Node in Scorpio is intense for all of us. South Node in Scorpio, I think, is a tough transit for everybody, and that just ended in July. And so this happened at around the same time as this Venus retrograde, which means that this is the first emotional, Venus retrograde is an emotional reset, and so therefore it clears out that whatever stuff that was brought up with the South Node in Scorpio. So I'm not surprised that this has come up twice now for people. The first sign, Aquarius, had this as well. This is just saying that a lot has been cleaned out and purged and removed from your life, and a real like tidying of events in your life has happened. Okay, and then we have the 10 of Wands over here, and then we have the Sun. I see you, and this is beyond this reading, but this 10 of Wands reminds me of past readings and past observances. I think that there's undue pressure coming to you from the outside, from other people and other situations. Just pressure, 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 demands, demands, demands. And I think that part of this time for you, Pisces, is dealing with those demands and confronting them and picking and choosing on your own terms who you give your time to, who you give your energy to, and how. So there's going to be a lot of challenges over the next 9 months to a year of, you know, taking your energy, demanding it, the difference between giving and the difference between giving of free will and being taken from. So this feels like an overbearing energy. Someone is putting a lot of pressure on you to give and putting weight on your shoulders. And I think part of the next year is going to be you figuring out how to deal with that type of pressure and how to choose when to give and when to nurture yourself. But you have the Sun here, which is such a blessed and lucky card. So this is suggesting that it's going to be an emergence of a very lucky time for you ahead. I think that right now the big message is rest, and you are going to, in a practical way, Pisces, going to need to choose where to put the emphasis, because you're ahead of you is really wonderful opportunities, a really bright light of the Sun card. It just feels like the rising of Sirius and the rising of Venus together in many areas in the world for the first time in like 100 years is symbolic in your rising card. And this just is signifying good luck is on its way. For Pisces, I do feel that weight that you have been struggling with, the weight that you have been given from outside energies. And I think, honestly, that you've caved in the past and you've went along with it because you wanted to be nice, because you wanted to be considerate. But I think you're pushing back. I think the exhaustion, that the mental strain, the burnout that it caused is now become a personal boundary. It led you into the judgment, right? It led you into a space in which things crumbled for you and really broke down. Let's see the next message. We have the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, secondary transits in water. And then we have the Ace of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, possibly energy. I'll explain all the cards in a minute. Then we have the Chief. This is the Emperor card in this deck. Such a beautiful card. Look, we'll put him in the sun. Okay. And then we have the Six of Swords, which is moving on and moving in a new direction, Pisces. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles suggests that you are in fruit of life at this time. So between now and the winter time, it's likely that you are going to indulge in life and everything you've built up for yourself to this point here. And then secondarily, in the winter time, we have the Ace of Swords. Important communication is coming to you. I think that's the weight that's coming in your direction. I really sense someone is asking something of you explicitly or just expects you to do that. And I think that the information's, you're going to be having a really nice fall, really enjoying yourself, stepping into your energy, getting what you want out of circumstances. And in the winter time, I think that there's going to be important information that comes to you I think you'll be resting. I think you'll be like sleeping or maybe just relaxing at home. And I think someone's going to introduce the idea that they need your help or something like that. And I think that you are having a very powerful year ahead, a very strong year. So I think this Emperor card actually represents you. And so I think that it represents you in the sense that you will be really choosing where your energy goes and how. And I think that you're going to be making like executive decisions about who gets what from you and how. And also, though, I think that you'll be making decisions that sort of ripple into your relationships, because this is the Emperor card. So past relationships are going to be reflected here. And I think that past relationships are going to be reflected here. And I think that also what it means for your future as well. I think that especially in the spring and next summer, you're going to let go of something that you've been really holding on to a long time, such as a divorce from before, such as a relationship that still weighs on you. I think in the spring and summer is when you may have already let it go. And in fact, I think for many of you, even by now, you have already let it go, but there's still things about it that linger in your mind. In the spring and the summer, I think it's going to become really a thing of the past for you, and you're going to move ahead. So just in summary, I think what's going to happen this year, over the next 9 months especially, is that you're going to really confront how people weigh on you with their dramas and traumas and things like that. You love being a sympathetic listener, but you don't like being exploited or affected negatively. And so I think that this is somehow conflated with your relationships with significant partners. And I think that there's maybe one person from the past who is still weighing on you emotionally in that kind of relationship. And so by the springtime, I think you'll find your own authority in the situation. I think any guilt you have about letting someone go, about not helping them as much, is going to really wash away. And you're going to feel very empowered. This is also a time when someone could come into your life that's a really significant person if you're single. But if you're in a relationship, this could be a friend or something like that. And by the summer, it's going to be that Six of Swords, totally letting a situation go, totally wanting to move on, not even thinking about it, water under the bridge. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope you had fun. And I'm going to do a reading just like this for members, which I've already filmed a bunch of them, and I just need to finish them. And when they're done, I'll post an all sign for members, okay? Okay. So next sign. So I've done Aquarius and Pisces, if anybody's wondering. But now let's move on to the next sign. We have Chariot. Okay, so we have Cancer. Hey Cancers, let's take a look at your sign. And members, you guys had a new moon reading also. I hope you liked the collective reading. I really like that reading. I didn't have time, just like today, I didn't have the time, because I'm catching up, right? So I didn't have the time to prepare it for everybody else to watch. So I hope you guys had fun. The new moon reading is available for all members. It's going to be the August offering for all members. Okay, so core energy for the Chariot card, Six of Wands. I think Six of Wands is a beautiful card for you, Cancer, because it signifies that you have really found some success. And especially in light of other people in your life who have been putting pressures on you to be unlike yourself, to fold to their whims, to fold to their demands. Okay? So this is a year, 9 months specifically, in which you're going to very much feel vindicated in relationships. Also, we know that Pluto is going to be in this transition phase out of your sign, so that's exciting as well. Okay? So that Pluto exit is a big deal. All right, so let's see what's happening next. So I'll pick a card above. Wow, I like this card. It's the World card. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so Cancers, those of you who have put a lot of work into something, it just seems like there's been a lot of work put into something, a lot of effort. Eight of Pentacles. It's also Sun in Virgo. Precision, expertise, working, tenacity, applying yourself, working really hard to get somewhere with things. That's going to open up opportunities in the world. So the thing you've been working for such a long time, it's going to really become an opportunity in the world for you to reach out to, and an opportunity for you, an open door. So it's likely that doors are going to open for you. There's going to be some type of success, and you'll be able to reach out and go in a new direction. Now let's see the next cards. We have Two of Swords. And then we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, interesting. So, Cancer, you're going to maybe not like... Don't shoot the messenger here, okay? I think that we'll start with the card where I think that you might not like me very much for... It's Seven of Swords. I think a big lesson for the next 9 months to a year is going to be to detach from people before they cause you damage. Being careful in the way that you approach people, being careful in the way that you interact with them. I like this painting on this card because to me it signifies that there was like, how do I say this? You might get burned a few times by putting too much trust in something. So she's walking home in the rain and she doesn't look too comfortable. It's like, she saw the clouds coming, but she didn't go home before it started raining. So she's stuck in the rain going home like that. So this can suggest that at this time, over the next 9 months to a year, the real lesson is to stay away from, when you see warning signs, you better get out of their way or whatever's happening. And then the emergence is a choice. And I think that this makes a lot of sense because Pluto is transitioning between your 7th and 8th house. So you're going through a massive change. And I don't think you know exactly where to go yet. And I think that this is going to be common for many signs. So this has already come up for Aquarius. Now it's coming up for you. This kind of open, unknown territory. Just from these cards alone, stick to your guns, stick to the things that you have been working on so much, because it is leading to positive outcomes. If you're trying to create for yourself a new avenue, a new direction at this time, I think that you have to use a lot of patience. It's going to take time to realize how long that actually takes to come into your life, okay? So be very, very patient in terms of how things come in. Don't be frustrated if the answers aren't here yet. They're coming, and you have this wonderful energy. And don't get us distracted by other people's nasty behaviors, okay? You have this, like someone enticing you for the wrong reasons. Don't get caught up with other people's, distractions. King of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Possibly a fire sign too. Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Secondary transit in water is very watery. And then we have the Prince of Discs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Secondary transit in Earth. And then we have, last but not least, the Nine of Swords, which is Mars in Gemini. Okay, so what do I see? This is kind of like the seasons ahead. So we have the King of Swords. I see you, Cancer, as a master strategist leading into the fall. You might have someone around you who's maybe reflecting your need to organize and plan ahead at this time, and this person is in some way a reflection of a side of you that is very focused on forward planning, moving forward. How am I going to make everything happen? I think that there's a little bit of burnout for you in the fall, in the sense of trying to be something you're not. You're a go with the flow water sign person. And so putting the pressure on you for a specific trajectory is a lot to take on for a long period of time. And so I think that, and I feel like this person's, they're not a bad person, but their energy is so intense, and it's so, they're like super punctual, super organized, super rational, and it's just a lot all the time. And so I think that you should, pace yourself through the fall and into the winter. I really love what happens for you in the winter time. Either you have a wonderful invitation from someone far away, someone sending you love. And you guys know that I've really stepped away from reading tarot cards in a gendered way, because it just messes up readings, and for men and women and for a general, it just doesn't make sense anymore. So Queen of Cups still carries a lot of the same qualities that a Queen of Cups tarot card carries, but I have it more of this like water and water energy, right? So still just as loving, but it's just a person of any gender, right? A person of any gender who's sending you a lot of love. And this makes it applicable to whatever your situation is, whether you're a man or a woman, and whoever you date. I just don't want to get into the politics of it. It's unnecessary. So all we need to know is you're around a very soft-handed person, a very loving person, someone who's likely inviting you somewhere, maybe for Christmas or maybe for the holidays, winter holidays. But I see you the guest of really warm company, someone who's giving you a lot of love and care, somebody who's talking to you a lot about how you've been taken advantage of in the past. I could see you sitting with this person and talking, and them showing you love and showing you care. So you have a very nice energy ahead of you. I think that the fall's going to be very busy for you, actually. And then in the springtime, I think that you're going to have your eye on some goal, particularly a goal that you've already been working for some time, such as building a business, working towards something. I think that you're going to be very much focused on developing something that started this year or even before. And then in the summertime, I think that you have to forgive yourself for how you've given your energy over to people in the past who have abused it, who have taken your goodwill. So any regret, any guilt that you're dealing with about how someone treated you or how someone was towards you. I think in the summertime that's going to come up. And that's going to come up in the fact that something connected to that is going to come up again. But you're going to be successful through this. This is overcoming these attachments that are not helpful to you. I think that the best advice that I can give is don't get worried when there isn't an answer right away. Be very patient and allow yourself to step into the energy. Allow the world to open up for you, Cancer, and it definitely will. Just make sure that you keep working. Make sure that you're applying yourself, that you're doing your due diligence. I feel like you've been too permissive of certain energies from certain types of people, and they have really dirtied up your life or your emotions. And so I think that maybe in the fall you push all social relationships away. You sort of get cool, and you sort of you turn off your emotions because of an immediate hurt that you felt. And so I think that throughout the whole year, it's not all this, but I think the theme comes up of letting people in close, them not being cool to you. And I'm not saying this will happen. I'm talking about you dealing with your feelings about the past. And I think that by next summer, you're going to be ready to really confront why you do that or why that happened, and really hopefully bring some healing to some really dark feelings. I love this painting. I'll show you guys. See, he's sitting there and he just wants to be left alone, and everybody wants him to join them, but he's within his feelings, right? And so that's you in some way, caught within your feelings, distracted by the past. But we can't rush this healing. It has to happen of its own time and energy, right? Okay. So thanks, Cancer, for being here. If you're a member, there's going to be more in the video. A bottle popped, like a soda bottle, because of the sun, maybe the heat. Okay, so let's take a look at the next sign. Are you guys enjoying this video? Let's see who's next. So we have the Emperor card. Let's take a look at your Emperor energy for Aries. Hi, Aries. So let's see what comes up for Aries, the zodiac sign of Aries. Emperor, Emperor, Emperor. Okay, so we get the Fool right in the middle, a bright new beginning. I haven't been talking a lot about the astrology of Aries for all of the signs. Whether you're an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or whether you're any other zodiac sign, this is a very big year for Aries. Not just because the North Node is in Aries, but there's some kinds of interplay between different transits that really heal a lot for wherever Aries is in your chart. So I'm excited to do this for you guys and talk to you guys about this later. But for the Aries zodiac sign, the Fool is a marker of a new beginning, and that's a real exciting thing. Let's see what's coming in from the top. We have the Empress. We have the Empress. So very maternal energy, loving energy from the outside in. And then we have the World. So maybe your life has already expanded. You're coming at things from a really robust past. It feels as though you've had a lot of different experiences that you have brought into this moment. And so to this present moment, you have brought in a very big diversity of experiences. And I think that you're trying to find a partner or somebody who's suitable, who shows you that loving energy. So this is Cleopatra, right? And look, they're looking at her and they're admiring her. So you're looking to make that connection with someone, Aries. I think that you come into this period of time, which is about 9 months to a year, from having gathered so much within you. And now you're looking for a complement. You're looking for something that complements who you are and what you need. The next energy is the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, secondary transits in water signs. And then we have the Princess of Cups. Okay, so in terms of here, this really signals that there's new love on the horizon for Aries. Now, this isn't going to be true for everyone. It's a romantic kind of love, of course. But there's a real, but for many of you, it is a romantic type of energy. It's really sweet and loving, and it feels more like partnership than like something else. So even if it's a friendship, it's really a lot of energy that's shared. So there's someone who's directing feelings at you, Aries. There's a new person that's showing up that is important, that is meant for you to, you're meant to recognize, you're meant to see. Now, in terms of here, I think you're being very selective. What I see from this spread is it's almost like you've been away and you are coming in with all your lived experiences, all your knowledge, and you are in some way, you are choosing and picking your environment and where you give your time. So you don't want to in some way, how do I say this? like squander. You're being very selective, very choosy. You're very careful with new relationships, but yet you're really looking for that heartfelt match, Aries. Now let's take a look at, it's very nice. Yeah, it's very like picky, choosy, new beginning, not rushing into things. And yet somebody's watching. Somebody has, you know, their hearts for you. And then you have the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, maybe a water sign. And then we have Six of Wands. I don't know if you watched the other videos, but I'm not reading court cards as gender anymore. You pick what gender they are. Like, you know who you date and you know who you care about. Then we have the Prince of Discs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, possibly energy, and the Four of Wands. Wow, okay. So give it a year, give it 9 months to a year. It's going to turn out to something. This is oftentimes a marriage card. So we have a Queen of Swords. Again, your fall is going to be very, very picky. You're not going to be taking a lot from anyone. I could see you actually around other people who are of the same mindset. So you form a little clique with someone. Your head is in the same place. Your head is in this kind of figuring the environment out, not being ready to commit to anything too much. In the fall or winter time, you will feel like you've gotten over certain things in your life that have held you back before. So you will in some way feel like you're accomplished. Like when you look back from now, from August until the winter time, December, you will feel like, I really didn't waste my energy. I really didn't throw my energy into a bad situation. You will feel as though like you've been successful and you've chosen well. And excuse me, in the springtime, I got to look at the astrology for spring a little closer, but everybody's getting this like go get it attitude, going after your dreams, going after your desires, going after what you truly want in a material world. This is going to be a huge part of spring. And then in the summertime, we have the Four of Wands. And what this to me symbolizes is that everything that you've been working towards and everything you've been building towards, whether it's a relationship or whether it's something else, is going to yield for you some degree of structure or success or groundedness. You will achieve that time frame of something. I don't know that for some of you this may be engagement. I feel like some of you Aries, if you are in a relationship, like a long distance relationship with someone, this could suggest that that person is coming next summer. I don't know, not everyone's in a long distance relationship, but I just want to acknowledge that some of you, that person will come in the spring or summer next year. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had fun reading for you members. I'm going to do a member only video that will be in the description when it's ready. I've already filmed like half of them and now I have to do the other half. But I just wanted to make sure that we had this Sirius Venus rising reading under wrap today because it actually happened yesterday for where I live. And so I just want to make sure that you guys get the New Year's message. We get another New Year. We'll enjoy every single one. Okay, so we have Capricorn next. I also like just doing tarot. I've gotten so used to doing astrology and tarot, but just doing tarot once in a while. If you guys like it, let me know in the comments. Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's see. Your core energy is the King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Just a little bit of an announcement. I'm not reading court cards anymore as gendered, which means that this could be a man or a woman. It depends on your orientation and who's important in your life, okay? So King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Let's see who's next. So we have the Fool here. Uranus energy. Uranus is so important. I'll tell you guys about that soon. Uranus is so important right now and in the near future. And then we have death. We have Saturn below the surface. Okay, this is a huge reading for Capricorn. So, for some of you, there's someone who's very significant in your life right now. And this could be a significant partner who you're already partnered with, the love of your life, or emotionally you're very settled into something, a situation. This doesn't have to be love. If it's not someone else, you are settled into a situation. Like home is where the heart is, the energy is here. You're loving, you're feeling loved, you're feeling well connected. Above here is the Fool. And so to me, this suggests that ahead of you, you're seeking new beginnings, maybe because some of your feelings have been met, your needs, emotional needs have been met. You're sort of seeking more from your environment. This has happened because there has been a very intense letting go period in which you really let go of the past and cut cords of things that were no longer serving you. This is where you're coming from, okay? So there's a purge, there's a letting go, you're freeing yourself. Here is the next card. We have the Empress. This is looking very much like turning over a new leaf. And then we have the Princess of Wands. So whatever is happening, there is the King of Cups and the Empress. To me, she's just following him straight into the reading. It just feels like there's a certain degree of healing, putting your heart at rest, and there's someone coming towards you who is of a like-minded spirit, somebody who's just as happy as where they are in life, and they're connecting with you. You're aspiring for something new, Princess of Wands, which is the Page of Wands. You're definitely aspiring for something new this year. You're really reaching for something new because you feel very satisfied with your life. Whatever you have cut off or whoever you cut off, you feel extremely satisfied by the fact you have. And you have aspirations that you've held in your mind for a long time before, that you have aspirations that you have held in your mind before, that you're going to try to achieve now that you feel as though things have aligned. Okay, so let's see the next message. And these are basically an overview of what will happen over the next 9 months to a year. And then we have Ace of Cups. I think many Capricorns will also find love. Look at all these loving readings. You know, next year and the following year, we have much less intense retrograde seasons. I know a lot of people are worried about retrogrades, but the retrograde seasons that we've been having is like 6 retrograde planets, 5 retrograde planets at the same time. And it's not coincidental, but they just happen to be at around the same time. However, in 2024 and 2025, the frequency or the intensity of retrogrades is spread out a bit. So we will constantly have a retrograde happening here or there, but they're not going to happen all together. So it's going to feel very nice. So because the reason I'm mentioning this is I think many people will kind of find relationships. Things will not be as back and forth as they have been with these intense retrograde cycles or seasons. And so 2024, 25, I'm not surprised that there's like 2 of Cups, Ace of Cups stuff coming up. In the fall, I think for many of you, I think that there is going to be a period of a lot of learning. Some of you, this is in school, but just your life is going to take on really a lot of activity, and a lot of information will come in. I think it's partly because you're going to change your environment somehow. You're going to change the things you're doing, because you have reached a level of comfort, emotional comfort and satisfaction, like you know who your friends are, Capricorn, that by the fall, already maybe now, you're almost pushing to change things a bit, to learn more, to get more out of life. In the winter time, I think what's happening is that emotions become really important. We have the Ace of Cups. Emotions become important, and there's this outpouring of love. There's this outpouring of the need to be loved and emotional connection. And I think that this year you will see that there's a lot of love coming towards you through the Empress energy, which is very maternal. It doesn't have to be from your mother, but you will have a lot of people around you being very, very kind, very, very loving, very, very supportive. You're going to be a little bit of an adventure seeker, but the people around you are always going to be there to support you and show you love, and especially in the winter time. Now, in terms of the spring, which is the Two of Swords, I think that wait out the spring, and by the summer, you will know what to do in a situation. In the spring, you will experience a certain degree of confusion. You will be the information will be too new about your circumstances for you to decide on what's going on. You will only have partial information. You will have to wait for certain information to come in to really figure out what happened or why it happened or what you need to do about it. Okay? So the springtime is not a time for you to judge, but it's also the time of possibilities. The things you initiate now are going to manifest as opportunities and options for you by the springtime. Exciting. And in the summer, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Deep connection with people. I'm going to make a little bit of a prediction here. Someone who you are close with is going to go through a loss, okay? And it really feels like their loss, not yours. Although when you're close with people, you're probably close with the people that they're close with, so it does ripple out. But I think that that person's going to come into your life a lot more next summer. There's this feeling of wealth, success, family, established family, love, someone coming back in, something that has been missing from your life in a natural way coming back. They are going to have a separation, divorce, loss, maybe loss of job, but a significant change in their life is going to bring them in. And it's going to be more than that. There's going to be, next summer, there's going to be a lot of wealth that comes into your life, a lot of prosperity, a lot of the things that you have been waiting for come then. So I think that in the winter time, you're going to see these relationships emerge. The depth of the relationships take center stage. And in the fall and springtime will be your times of making decisions. It's like setting yourself up, figuring out what you want to do and where to go from here. Okay? So that's what I think will happen, Capricorn. Good luck. And if you're a member, I am going to post like it's a reading just like the one I've done now, but I will do a second run for members because I've already filmed half of them. So when I'm done filming all of them, they'll be in the description. So if you want more fortunes, then let me know. Okay, so here is the next sign. Let's take a look. So we have Virgo. I was like, is it Virgo? It's Virgo. Hey, Virgos. So let's see what energy comes up for Virgo for the next 9 months to a year. I've been telling everyone, because I forgot in the intro, I'm not really reading court cards as gendered anymore because I find that like everybody knows who they date, who they love. So you guys, apply that to your life in the way that it makes sense. Okay. A lot has changed. Let's see the first card. So we have Queen of Pentacles. Look at you, Virgo. So we have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, possibly Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I think that you've made yourself very comfortable, and this has shown up in other readings as well. you have made yourself so comfortable by your efforts. Remember in the recent reading, I told you guys that you have been choosing the right path. You have been systematically choosing the right path, even if it's difficult or even if it's uncomfortable. And I think your life was a bit of a mess before, energetically. And so because you've been hampering down and choosing the right path, even if it's a little uncomfortable, you have arranged everything to this Queen of Pentacles level. So everything is reorganized and everything is set right, which means that energetically speaking, right? And when things are energetically aligned well, then other things fall suit. So they're falling in line with that energy. Now let's take a look at your tarot card up and down. So we have the Princess of Wands. Look at you trying something new. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I don't know why I said that, but it should be Sag, Leo, or Aries. And then we have the King of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, or fire sign, Sag, Leo, or Aries. Yeah, fire sign. Okay, so those are just general observations. Princess and King are energetic observations about what the card is. You can take them as gendered if you want, but I'm not going to read it that way. Okay, so I really feel that Virgos have been very strict disciplinarians on themselves for a period of time leading up until this point. So this means you've been working really, really hard to, like, really being hard on yourself and being very demanding of your efforts in things. In fact, I have a feeling that many Virgos may have felt as though the last little while felt dry because of the choices that you've been making to establish life in the way you want it to be. And now I think that you feel comfortable where you are, and you're going to broaden horizons a bit again. So it's just kind of coming out of your shell. But this Page of Wands is really suggesting that you're going to, like really build out your environment, try different things, go somewhere, have a little adventure in your life. I think you're going to be very protective of the kingdom you've built for yourself. But I think that you're now going to explore and try different things. On the bottom is the King of Swords, very restrictive energy. Whoever that could be a person in your life. If someone was really judgy, this could be, I don't like this mirroring. Like if I'm feeling this way, then these kinds of people are going to be in my life. I think that's a very cruel way and way of thinking about other human beings. However, in certain relationships, it's true that certain people come into our lives that reflect aspects of ourselves that are like a certain way. So when you are being very strict, other people may show up in your life who are also very strict and pick up on the energy. So what I'm saying is sometimes, not always. I don't like it as an always statement. I think it's damaging, but as a sometimes, and particularly here. So you may, Virgo, have experienced proximity to people that have been very critical, very kind of like a high standard. You had to be at a high standard around them. There's just like a heavy demand that's been put on your shoulders. And maybe this was needed for a time, but now I feel as though what you're seeking is a little bit of adventure, a little bit of joy in life. Right now, as we're talking, what's emerging is that you need some rest. You need some rest from the heaviness. And rest can be different things. For some of you, it's literally sleep. But for some of you, this a rest of something. So for example, if you've been really pushing yourself to be there for others and to cater to others and to be within their energy, rest for you may be a solo vacation, a vacation by yourself. So rest can look different for different people. Whatever you've been pushing on yourself, Virgo, you're going to be taking some significant rest from the way you've been living your life, okay? Virgos are very good at repetition, so we sort of can choose to live a particular way that's very demanding, and other people would not like to live that way in order to achieve a goal. And so what I see here is that pattern of possibly living one aspect of your life a certain way to achieve something. You got there, stability is there, but I think you need rest from the regiment because it's a really intense thing you've been doing, whatever it has been, you know, whether it's being around people or fixing up your life, or some of you like personal improvement kind of stuff. You've been working very hard at it, and now you need a little bit to go a little bit easy. This card fell out. We have the Three of Swords. I think that you're going to let people have hurt. I think what happened beforehand is that certain people hurt your life, hurt your feelings. And I think that you moved on to focusing on yourself. And I think over the next 9 months to a year, it's going to be a time for you to let go of that hurt completely. No matter how much you've moved past it already, it's still lingering there. It's still in the back of your head, how people treated you a certain way and how you were enveloped in their behaviors. And so I think that you need a little bit of fun, Virgo. You need a little bit of self-care. You need a little joy in your life. And the Three of Swords is here. Three of Swords in the Descendant here is signifying that through the next year, one of the big themes is how you take on hurt from people or hurt feelings from people, and how you want to move past those hurt feelings from people. Here is the next message. We have the Nine of Cups. So this is for for fall into winter. And then we have the Ace of Swords. And then we have the Five of Wands. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, Moon in Taurus. Okay. Well, it looks okay. It looks like maybe spring next spring is going to be stressful, only because you're going to be forced to face certain past hurts or feelings. This doesn't mean that they're going to come up again. It's that at that time, you're going to be reminded of those feelings, and you're going to be really pushed to confront them. Hurt feelings to me suggest that someone was mean to you, and you may understand why, but it doesn't really make sense. And the hurt feelings come from the fact that you just don't understand why someone would do that behavior. So in the springtime, you might feel a little bit shaky about things, or really pushed towards standing your ground, being strong. You're still going to be cool and collected, but it's going to be this, dealing with the heart of it all, and really look at what you have been refusing to look at or focusing on. You've been very productive, very proactive in leading a good life since whatever's happened way back when. But I think that in the springtime, you're going to have to in some way confront how they did you dirty, how they behaved, so that you can move on. And you will move on. So that's why I wanted to highlight this, so you're not worried. So the Nine of Cups, which is for this fall, is some fulfillment of wishes. I think that you should really enjoy this fall, Virgo. I think that there's some really good energy coming your way. And I think you should spoil yourself, treat yourself, and make sure that you feel good and healthy. Be within your emotions. And again, the rest for you is joy. The rest for you is allowing yourself to relax and allowing yourself to not be so serious, so that you can enjoy yourself. In the winter time, information comes in, probably connected with the Five of Wands. And so in the winter time comes some kind of important information. It's not something that you're going to, how do I say this? It's not a situation in which another bad situation comes up. It's not that. the emotional, you have emotional homework. One of the clients was mentioning that she does the homework because I mentioned a few times. And so it's going to be homework from the past that shows up again because you're not living your life completely until that's really put to rest. That's the issue. So you're still struggling with these issues, even if you're ignoring them and being proactive, having fun, whatever. But until you really confront them and deal with them, forgive yourself for them, and truly understand, they're always going to haunt you. And I think that that's what this is about. So this means some communication information is showing up in the winter time that's causing you to have to deal with those feelings that you've been so well distracting yourself from. It's not going to be the whole period of winter to springtime, and it's going to feel like emancipation. It's not going to feel like being weighed down. It's going to be a feeling of being set free from the way people called you names, from the way people treated you. You're no longer going to be within that influence. So I think that you're worried about it, but I think it's going to work out. And then by next summertime, you have the Six of Pentacles. You're really going to be happy by next summer for what you have to show for yourself. I see you very open to relationships, friendships, and connections with other people. You'll have other relationships throughout this time also, but we're just taking a look at what the mechanics of all this energy is doing. We're looking at basically what are the major themes, or what is the shift that's happening. So there are other relationships, other things going on through this time. But I think the first phase is joy and celebration in the fall. And then from the winter to the springtime, the most important thing you can do for yourself is to address hurt feelings that you've experienced from others in the past. And I think that life will push you to do that also, to not feel so violated or vulnerable. And by the summertime, I see you around a lot of good people and balanced exchange. This card is beautiful because it kind of depicts, admiration and love. So you can take that for what it's worth. But there's this feeling of, deep connection, deep love, admiration, friendship, enjoying life. So once you get through the things that you need to address, then you will really enjoy your next summertime. Okay? But the whole year is Queen of Pentacles energy. But Queen of Pentacles is really good at keeping some things at bay. And I think by winter time, but especially spring, she's going to have to deal with all that stuff. Like she won't be able to ignore it any longer. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Members, I'm going to film your extra reading and put it up when it's ready. I'm about halfway done through the readings, but I will post part 2 to this, I guess, for members only soon. And then we have Temperance, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Why am I saying this? Sagittarius. Sorry. I'm in the zone. The sun is shining on my face. I'm having fun reading for you guys. I hope you're having fun too. Okay, so let's see what's going on for Sagittarius energy. We have Six of Wands. Oops, I already looked, so I'll give it Seven of Pentacles. But let's talk about the Six of Wands. So, Six of Wands signifies success, Sag, in some things. Some interesting things came up in your readings recently. And there was this feeling, you and Libra in particular, you might find good balance between yourself and Libras at this time. It felt as though you were coming out from somebody else's shadow, and the Six of Wands can really mean that, breaking away from somebody else's imposition, finding your way, finding success at work, all of these different things. Let's pick the next card. We have Last Judgment. This is not the first time this card came up in this exact position, so it's interesting that it came up here. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so there's a little bit of karma message. Karma isn't like, I don't know. When I mean karma, I just feel like there's a task, or maybe dharma, But there's a karmic thing that's going on here. There's something you must do. You have been shown how people are treated in the world, and so therefore, sometime in the next year, sometime in the next 9 months, you are going to be presented in a situation in which you're supposed to have compassion and sympathy for someone else, and that's going to be the point. So somebody's going to show up in your life who's going to have less than you in some way, and the Five of Pentacles is saying this is directly connected to what you've gone through, and you have to really connect emotionally those two energies. It's so important for you to have that understanding that what happened to you and what's happening for this person is one and the same thing, and that is your success, is like showing concern in that situation. I don't know what that means. I do know what it means in a high level explanation, but I think that's going to be a different lesson for each and every one of you. I want to put the crystal here, so if anybody is interested in looking at them. Okay. And then we have the King of Swords in this energy. Sag, you're coming up as a very empowered person over the next 9 months to a year. Lots of Princess of Cups also. This is the second time Princess of Cups came up in this position. This means that you have someone around you who's coming in with a lot of sincere feelings towards you. You, however, are coming up as someone who is really planning their life and in great control over the things that are happening around them. So you're being very, how do I say this? Like managerial. You're just like, you get the things you want, which is Six of Wands. You get the things you want, and now you're planning your life out forward, and you're being very serious about it. You're not wasting time. You're being very selective. You're being very focused on your goal. And there's someone around you who's showing you love. This could be a child of yours for some of you. This could be also a pet. But it feels, the reason I said child or pet is that the Princess of Cups feels like a youthful energy. And so someone that needs your protection, someone that but they're not coming to you and like to get something from you. They genuinely love you, Sag, and it could be man or woman. They genuinely love you, but you're their protector. You're protecting them, okay? So you have this energy of, but it's connected with your past. Like you're taking someone under your wing, or you're nurturing someone, or you're making sure that they're okay. And then we have the Devil. It's Capricorn energy. This is for the fall. And then we have the Sun. Oh, kin. Sorry, this is the brothers. And then we have the Oracle Mystic, High Priestess. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, Moon and Taurus. I have a feeling that whatever there's a real strong message here that something is happening around you, Sag, but not directly to you. It's happening to someone around you. And they're coming towards you, and it's connected with something that you've gone, that has happened in your past. For example, if you were young and you needed a father figure, right? This is an example. And then you meet someone who needs a father figure, who needs a parental figure. There's this synchronicity between yourself and this emotional connection. Something happens in the fall that changes things very fast for you, Sag. Not for you, but like around you, to the effect that you're suddenly in this situation. And I think it's a time when things will be moving very quickly. I think financially things are going to be going very well. But I think that there's going to be a lot of demands that are placed on your shoulders throughout this fall. And then through the winter time, you will naturally become closer with another person. through the holidays, through just that kind of wintertime period, you're going to become really bonded with someone without really thinking. This could be the person who needs you or someone else, but I don't think that there's going to be too much focus on where that relationship is going, or what. It could be a romantic or a friendship, but it's just going to be the natural need to be in each other's presence. There's going to be a really natural connection without thinking about whether or not this is, what this is or what the consequences will be. It's very natural. Like, hey, we like each other, we understand each other, and we have a connection, whatever relationship type it is. And then in the springtime, you will realize that something's changing. You will look and see a different depth in the my fingers are here. A different situation to the circumstances you're in. You're going to start seeing deeper, or a truth will be revealed to you. So for example, you meet someone and you have this amazing connection, you become good friends, or a relationship. I'm just speaking broadly. And then in the springtime, you realize something about them. Possibly they didn't tell you, or it was just omitted, or it didn't come out. And then you see like a deeper truth to what's going on. It's going to turn out well, because I think that there's a really strong connection for you, Sag, between this person or other people you're around. In fact, when I'm looking at this, your past experiences of hardship, of difficulties, possibly loneliness, you start the year in this very fight for yourself, defend yourself, protect your energy. But by the end, or even by the winter time, it becomes about other people in your life so much more. And by next summer, you're going to be very much in sync with other people, giving and sharing and connecting. It's not going to be about you surviving on your own anymore, if that makes sense. Okay, that's a beautiful reading. So far, the best one. So Sag, I hope you like this. I am going to do a second reading for members only, and that will be in the description when it's ready. But I do have a Venus all sign that you guys can check out right now. Okay, so let's pick the next card. So we have about 5 left. I hope you guys are enjoying this. The sun's not going to set on us today. Hi everyone, thank you for watching. Okay, so we have Scorpio next. Let's take a look at your reading, Scorpio. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, so we have the 5 of Wands. So the next year ahead is dealing with fractured energy. We need to see more cards for this, but right away what it seems as though is that there are other people weighing on you, that there's multiple points of consideration. There may be conflict between what people want from you. So one group of friends wants one thing, somebody else wants another. There's a conflict of interest, and you're sort of in the middle, in between things. Or maybe different priorities that you need to choose between, and every single one is important. So it right away feels as though that's the primary energy. Up here we have the Judgment card. This is your card, Scorpio, so it's been showing up for everyone. Big decisions, final decisions, huge changes. But it never showed up in this position, which is huge. And then we have the Empress down below. You have to make a big decision, and it's based on your love for someone else. Now, this can represent a mother, but it can represent someone who you deeply, deeply care about. You have to make a decision that you don't want to make that will put an end to something in your life, like a direction, like because you love someone so much. And it's not clear what decision you're going to make, but that's what's weighing on you. So for example, like you want to go do school in a particular direction, but your love for someone holds you down in a particular, and you have to decide. It really feels like the decision is going to go with love, but I don't want to project too much and tell each, like, different people what to do, but it automatically feels like you're going to go with your heart. I think that this is too big a card, too important a card to say that, like, I think you're going to take a loss. I think you're going to decide to end something. You're not going to pursue something that you wanted to pursue. You're not going to go after something because it's temporary, right? The logic is that it's temporary. But this relationship it's like one of those relationships that lasts a whole lifetime. So whoever it is, it could be your mother, it could be your wife, it could be your husband. But something is too powerful. And this is the struggle, the conflict of interest. Okay. And I know ultimately you're going to make a sound decision, but it really feels as though it's the right one. It's going to be a lot to give up, right? 3 of Wands. You have opportunities coming up for you in that direction now. And then we have Prince of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries. Somebody comes into your life that brings a lot of adventure over the next 9 months to a year. Somebody's coming in that's going to really lighten the mood up. I think that you're going to be, we'll see how the rest of the cards go, but it really feels as though, like I said, you wanted to move to Hollywood to become a famous actor, but mom at home needs the person you love needs you in New York or whatever. And so you're making this decision that you know is going to stop where you're going. But this feels it's biting, it's difficult, you know, but it keeps you, but I strongly feel like you're going to go with it just feels very powerful here. Or at least it's going to be very hard to let that person go if you're going to pursue that opportunity. But with the Last Judgment ahead, I don't think so. I think you're going to choose love. And 3 of Wands, the opportunities are emerging for you now. You know, different things you've worked towards. And an introductory level, things are starting to move for you in a good direction. We have the King of Swords. A lot of people are getting this. This makes a lot of sense. Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, possibly Sag, Leo, or Aries. But I think that some things have began to come in terms of where you want to see things go, and you're managing them. This can also be reflected as a person in your life who has shown up, who has a similar energy. 4 of Swords. Yeah, rest up through the winter time. 4 of Cups. There you go. 4 of Cups. And Queen. Look at this, Queen of Cups. You're going to choose your heart. That's definitely, you know, I can almost put all my money on it. I won't, but Queen of Cups and a deep connection. And this could be like, I don't remember if I told you guys yet, but I'm not reading court cards as gendered. So if you date men, think of this as a man in your life, right? Or a deep friend. It could still be your mother. It could still be your father. Someone who's very, very important to you. You choose the love, I'm pretty sure. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it just felt very strong. Like, oh, like, holy crap, you're giving that up? You're giving up that opportunity? But then it feels like, of course you're giving up this opportunity because you have this. And that would be, it's almost like giving up my precious, like, you know, giving up the most precious person in your life for like an opportunity at work or something. Like, both things are very important, but one has a significantly bigger significance, right? Okay, so King of Swords, you're dealing with opportunities. They're opening doors up for you. And then here in the winter time, really do take rest. And in fact, I think rest period lasts for you for about 6 months from the winter time until the spring. They're a little bit different, but specifically in the winter time, it feels quiet. It feels restful. And I feel like that rest, and I've already said this in Virgo reading, rest can look different ways. It can look like sleep, but it can also look like having fun. It can look like being distracted from the heavy thoughts and the heavy decisions ahead. So it will look nice. Four of Cups to me is also a restful card, specifically with emotions, not taking too much on. New things coming up, new emotional things that make you happy. I think that things will be fun, but maybe not like overly extreme. So I remember like when you don't have time to do the big things, so you do the little things to get you through until that. It's like a bunch of little things, and possibly a good friend. I really strongly feel like you will make a good friend, an adventure buddy, maybe someone near you who you can really be on good terms with and have a little bit of social connection. And that's going to take your mind off of everything else. And then life will, you're going to make a decision, whatever that, separate from the decision. In the summertime, it feels like a very strong love experience is coming your way. This will come as a romance for some of you, but like the meaning of your summer next year is going to be love. It's going to be the connection you have with one specific person, a deep bond, or maybe 2, 3, I don't know, but the depth. You're going to be very, very in deep, loving connection with someone, and next summer that's going to be the point of next summer. Okay? So this is just like a little look to see what the 9 to 12 months will be. I am going to do an extra reading for members, which I've already started, and I'll post it in the description below when it's ready. Okay? So let's see the next sign. Hi Leos, happy birthday you guys. The last few Leos are having their birthday. Let's take a look at your sign. Sun, Moon, Rising, Leos. Okay. Leo, Leo, Leo. Let's take a look. So we have the Last Judgment, which is Pluto right at the center. Everyone's getting this card. Huge decision. I haven't told you guys about I've told you guys about the kite, but this is a big deal. We're really on the precipice of something. Which reading did I say to you guys that something is beginning and it could possibly be bigger? It's this kite, I think I said it. This could be bigger than 2020, 2019, but 2020, right? The Capricorn stuff. And I don't want you to be scared, but something big is happening. And it's starting, and it's already started, but it emerges now, right? So everybody's getting Last Judgment because it's affecting all of us in particular ways. Big decisions, transformations, but also opportunities. So don't get scared. Last Judgment, Strength card, Leo. It's concrete. You guys, don't make decisions now. Just hold back with your decisions. I mean, in August, September, whatever. Don't make preemptive decisions now. Life will push us to make decisions very soon. Somebody write that in the comments for me, not in the live chat, but in the posted comments. So I'll post that on like all my social media, because I figured out how to do clips of videos. I figured it out yesterday. I posted one. I really like what I said, but I don't know, whatever. I know how to clip them now. So somebody put the timestamp of where I said this so I can clip it and say thank you to you, or post it on my... I think okay, so this is my 1 minute clip. Over in the neck, and this is not just Leo, this is all of you guys. We are on the precipice of something really, really great. And we're on the precipice of something really great, and I think it's ill-advised to make judgments early. You may be in situations in which you're eager to make a decision, but I think I'm really picking up on the fact that you want to wait because it will be preemptive. And if you make decisions now, the external environment will change and you'll find you're making other decisions in a whole new system or a whole new situation soon. And it's not bad and it's not scary. It's just big, something big we're on the precipice of. And I almost feel that it's possibly bigger than 2020, the Capricorn conjunction. I think there's something really happening that's world changing. Okay, but don't be scared. But that's why everybody's getting the Judgment card. Transformation. This is one of my favorite cards. If you guys don't know, it is. I just love this card so much. Now I'm a Scorpio rising, so of course, like, I resonate with Scorpio themes, but I think this card is the gem. So whatever's going on, Leo, just be really patient and be a lion in the grass. Meow, meow, you know. Hang out in the grass. Be a lion in the grass. You know, hold position. Here is the next message. We have the 8 of Swords here. There's obstacles ahead, but there is a solution to them. It's just going to take time to figure it out. And 6 of Swords. You've moved on. Okay, so here you really want to move on from something, or you have moved on from something already. But there's a nuance here. There's like a labyrinth ahead of you in which you have to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And this is going to be your process of getting there, okay? For some of you, this is the end of a relationship. For some of you, this is like navigating around someone also. So you've made your decision about someone or something and figuring out which way to go. But there is a solution, and I don't think it's a bad one. I don't think it's a bad solution. I think it's going to be harmonious. So it might feel complicated at times. We have the Chief, the Emperor. I'm not calling Native people Chief. In this card, I called it Chief because Chief is the Emperor in Native tradition, right? So that's why it was out of reverence for Native people. I heard someone say, don't call Native people Chief. I'm not calling Native people Chief. I'm calling the Emperor of the it was my attempt at being inclusive. I made these cards 10 years ago. So we have the Death card here. Okay. Leo, so we have emancipation and letting go of something as a huge theme. You're also attracting a lot of Scorpios, so you enjoy yourself with that. It's a square energy to yours, but it might work out. Listen, I think you're really detaching from certain people. I see you like looking at the people around you and not necessarily judging them, but I do feel like you are watching them. You're watching them, you're observing them. I have a feeling that you are like seeing that there's differences between you and them now. The honeymoon period has waned in your relationships with them. And it's not only romance, it's just friendships as well. And I think that like you're very centered and very grounded in what you want and who you want to be. And you're coming up very strong. You're emerging as this Emperor energy, okay? And I think that, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of change over the next year coming in from other people. A lot of different experiences and changes. There could be people around you over the next year who have lost significant loved ones in their life, because this Death card, so they come in grief and mourning as friends or, you know, connections. 7 of Wands. And then we have the 3 of Wands. And then we have the Prince of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, so what we have emerging in the fall is really sticking up for yourself. I have a really strong feeling for you, Leo, about differentiating yourself from the people around you. This is me, this is you, we're different. Before, maybe you felt like you were more together with the people you're around. Now you're feeling yourself more separate. You're feeling more on your own, but in a good way, very strong. And for you, that's a huge shift, because Leos typically feel very at one with the people they're around, and part of your struggle is separating yourself to do well for yourself at the cost of your relationship with others. So you hold on to relationships oftentimes when it doesn't serve you as much anymore. So this is a nice thing in my perspective, because you need a little bit of separation from those people and all their needs, and you're going to be more self-focused for now, okay? I think that you'll come across new people around the winter time in your life, Leo. And I think those people are going to bring you memories or references to the past. Also, something that you're stuck in your life, they are going to bring a solution to. So this is how you resolve this situation. They will teach you how to resolve it. They will help you figure it out. In the springtime, I think it's time to really initiate a new path forward. So this is very reactionary, fall and winter, reactionary to the past. It's going to be a response to your past experiences and the changes maybe you have found yourself in August. In the spring, you come out of hibernation and like a spring chicken, you find new friends, new friendship blossoms. Adventure is possible. And then Queen of Pentacles next summertime, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I love this card so much. And notice she's holding these cherries, the yellow and red cherries. They're more rare, but they're so delicious, and she's holding those. And so Queen of Pentacles, Cleopatra, right? Affluence and beauty, and so this is you. But I think that that's someone who's important around you. And this could be a man or a woman. But it's a sign of opulence and affluence in your life, success, feeling fulfilled, and just being really happy at where you are at. So let's summarize this, because it had like lots of different messages. Right now, I feel as though you're really decoupling from something. You're being very autonomous and very like stand on your own 2 feet, stand up for yourself. This is my perspective and I'm going to stick to it. And then we have people, the Three of Wands, coming to you in the winter time with solutions on how to problem solve something that's in your way. So by the winter time, that obstacle is going to be resolved. And then the spring and summer, to me, seems like a new adventure, new beginnings, having fun in the spring, and settling into something very comfortable by next summertime. Whether it's a job or just pace of life, you're going to be settled into this new energy. So I hope you have fun this year, Leo. Happy birthday, you guys. I will post your second reading for members only, and that will be in the description when it's ready. Okay? Okay, so we have 3 more? 3 more. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we have Taurus. Hey, Taurus, let's take a look at your reading and see what energy is coming up with Sirius and the Morningstar. Okay, so let's see. Taurus. Okay, so we have 6 of Pentacles, Moon in Taurus. This is a nice card to start. So I think that listen, this is not an astrology reading, but all of the earth signs have very strong energies over them that have a big push to ground them, and they're really aligned astrologically, and that's leading to feeling on pace with life and those kinds of things. There's some, like Mars is in Virgo, Uranus in Taurus, there's Pluto's again in Capricorn. So this is like a groundedness where all the earth signs start, or where they're feeling this way. And so you're in this perfect space of a balance. When you look to your friends at this time, it's very balanced, and you're sharing a lot with them. You're feeling content. You have good food. And you've been eating good, so you feel good. This is the core energy of the next 9 months to 1 year, especially when Venus is the Morningstar. I'm just looking at this Heliacal rising together just to see what kind of energies that would come up. Okay, so let's see the oncoming energy. We have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. And we have the Four of Cups beneath it. I think that you're in the beginning stages of something. I think maybe you have begun meeting certain people and having certain emotional connections. Excuse me. Nothing's settled yet, Taurus, and this is really the beginning stages of some things ahead. I think that this is the beginning phase of some financial advancement for you, but again, just the first stages. This is a 2 and a 4. So over the next year, I think that you will be exploring the beginning stages of certain relationships, and this includes friendships. So if you're married, this means you're making new friends, or if you're single and you don't want love, again, friends, so adapt it to your life. And the Two of Pentacles here really suggests that you are really trying to plan for some financial things, but you're still figuring them out. Those plans are not perfected. Now let's take a look at your horizontal cards. And we have the Fool, which is Uranus, which is in Taurus. That's nice. And Uranus is going to turn retrograde on August 29th, right? So just around the corner. And then we have Queen of Wands. And I don't know if I emphasized this to you guys, but these full moons that we're getting in August and the new moon, very powerful on Uranus, which is in Taurus. So it's definitely affecting you guys. I think I told you guys, low-key Taurus is super affected by this astrological energy. It's not always about all cardinal signs, all mutable signs, fire signs, whatever. That's just more of a, it applies, but it's a bit of a gimmick. It's a straightforward way to communicate energies, but there are nuances, and you're getting hit with this nuanced astrological energy this summer, or this August. Okay. So I think that you're going to be around someone who lives a comfortable life. This could be a man or a woman. I see someone with a lot of money, someone who has a comfortable life, someone who kind of gets what they want. They're used to getting what they want. They're wealthy, they're affluent. Wealth and affluence is a huge thing for this person, and they show it too. So you're around a person like this. I feel like they're giving towards you. They're not stingy, but you're in the company of someone who lives life big, who wants to live life big, and who kind of indulges. For you, I think what's happening is a new side of you is coming out throughout the whole year. I have a feeling that some of these things are test runs, the Four of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. You're going to be trying different things, and you shouldn't feel pressure for any one of those things to be the relationship or the situation that you fall into. I think a change is coming for you throughout this year. And in a year from now, you will choose significantly different things that are of importance. So your priorities are changing. Let's see the 4 cards. So we have the Death card here, Scorpio. It doesn't mean death, just in case somebody's new, so they're not scared. And then we have the 10 of Cups. This has not come up yet, which is weird. Mercury in Pisces, it's good for you though, Taurus. Two of Cups also hasn't come up yet. Look at you go. Love. Who is this person? Wow. Someone who has money, who's generous, who's indulging you, indulging them. They just live life big. They're like, you know, Seven of Cups. Live life to the fullest type of person. Live life. I like this energy. All the time from winter time to the spring, you're getting this just like, that doesn't mean that love won't last. It just means that between winter and the spring, it's like you're deeply indulging it. It's a deep indulgence. It's a deep energy of falling in love. Or if you're not like a romantic, or if you're married and this is not like something new, if you're married or you're partnered up, then that becomes really indulgent, or you really enjoy each other. But this can also be a friendship in which you're around someone who lives that kind of life, brings a lot of joy into your life, and a lot of the things you wish you would do, you probably will do with them. It's just a very vibrant period in your life. And then, first of all, you have to, this fall, you're going to let go of some things. The Death card. You're going to change some things around. The big point of the fall is to remove some things from your environment. I think that you shouldn't be too attached. Uranus is going to affect everything in your life. It's in detriment in Taurus. And so the reason it's in detriment is Uranus likes change and Taurus is a fixed sign. And so it's a weird energy together. It's the best thing that could happen for you because it changes things up. But I think that as you are trying different relationships and different opportunities, at this time, right until the winter time, give up on the ambition of thinking that any one thing will be the one or the thing that's most important. Okay? So give up on the ambition that you will have to give up on the ambition that any one thing will be the one or will be the thing that you have to do. Have fun trying different things. Really pay attention to letting go completely of the things that need to go, because then you're going to step into this very loving, nobody got this but you so far. Other people had different inklings of love relationships, but in particular, yours was strong. This feels like a really strong love moment between people. So really this person feels very exciting. Like they come into your life and they have just such a life about them. They have just so much, their approach to life is just enjoyable to be around. So they'll be a very fulfilling thing. So you have the Seven of Cups here, which is Venus and Scorpio. I think this is a fear by next summer that things are going to end. I don't think it's a suggestion that things will end, because I think you're changing as a person. But I think next summer you're going to second guess the circumstances you're in. And possibly about this person, you're going to be worried that it's, that's going to be the question. Is it going to work out? Is it going to work out? That's something that I think you need to work through. I think that the point is that you're changing. So as you're paying attention to this bright star, Venus, Sirius, whatever, you're paying attention to this star and it's so inspirational to you. A new version of you is emerging. A new side of you is emerging. An empowered side. Something really unlike who you are now. So allow that process to happen. Enjoy yourself. And don't spend so much time the other thing with the Seven of Cups that just, to me, it's like, be really careful of balance in your life. So this does not mean that a relationship needs to end, but you need to come back into the real world after some time, Taurus. So by next summer, you want to really fight the urge of overindulgence in things that are affecting the rest of your life in a negative way. Make sure that you keep your relationships in balance, and all this like, this is like emotional gluttony, right? So hurting yourself in order to have something that's not for you. So make sure that you're staying in the healthy energy, and the Seven of Cups next summer, make sure that you're not just being unhealthy about love and relationships and your mindset. And if you're doubting this wonderful partner who you've met, you want to, I would say, deal with it now so you can fully enjoy your time. And when it comes, you won't have to do very much because you'll be ready. Okay? So enjoy your winter and spring. It's going to be really beautiful. I'm going to do another reading for members only. I don't know if I've done yours. I don't remember. I did half of them. So when I'm finished the other half, I'll put them all together and then I will post it for members only. It's a reading just like the spread that I just did. Okay, so let's see the next message. We have Justice, Libra. Let's take a look at Libra's energy for the next year. Hi, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's take a look at your cards. Okay, so we have Prince of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, secondary transits in Earth, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I think you're taking a risk. One of the major things for this 9 to 12 months ahead is a significant risk. You're doing something very daring, like a personal risk, you know, not a gambling, but just like you're really testing the waters, trying something. You're very much pushing in a new direction. Let's see the next message. We have the Three of Cups. Okay, so Three of Cups here. Some of you are going to attempt to re-enter a relationship with someone from the past, giving someone a second chance. It's risky, whatever it is, your risky behavior. But risky doesn't necessarily mean bad. You can't gain nothing. Don't gain nothing without risking something. Below is a Fool, a new fresh start. For those of you who have been doing a lot of personal healing of your heart and maybe going back to something that you missed out on because you were not in the right frame of mind before, is going to be very successful. The Fool suggests that you personally have turned over a new leaf. You're a very different person right now, and wherever you're going, you're more open. And this doesn't have to be love. This means openness to a friend group, openness to some people from the past, openness to a social environment, workplace environment, where it didn't really work out before, but now you're a different person. Now the circumstances are different. And then we have the Moon, which is Pisces energy. And then we have the Familiar. So this is my strength card in this deck. So this is Leo energy. I really strongly feel lots of Libras are getting like a go back to an ex kind of energy. A lot of Libras are getting the, you know, something's calling you back. There's like subconscious desires that are manifesting. I don't think that Prince of Swords is necessarily a bad card. This means that you're willing to take a chance on something that's not guaranteed. But I think someone feels very passionately towards you. Now, if this is not romance, it could be a friendship. And still that person's passion isn't romantic in that case. It's just, you know, they feel really good. There's a real trust there. The cards so far look really good. This, to me, Moon feels very mysterious. What is that mystery that's driving your mind? What is your subconscious? There's something that is catching your attention. There's something that is soliciting for you to pay attention to it. Something wants to hear from you. Something is driving you to make the choices. And I think that it's very personal. It's subconscious. There's like a deep desire that is motivating you. I don't think it feels like a necessary step or something that you need to do. You feel like there's a purpose there. And the Three of Cups, you have a real longing for people in the past, people in the past that you were friends with. You have a real kind of like, they were upon reflection, they were really good people. So you have this, that's in your head. I like it. And then we have the Kin, which is Gemini. You're getting a lot of like close friendship, partnership type cards. Real like close with others. King of Swords. You're going to make the decision in the winter time about it. I think you'll have an experience of proximity with someone in the fall. By that, what I mean is there will be someone who you're very close with. There's someone who you're going to have the experience of closeness with someone. It could be a sibling, it could be a romance, it could be whatever, a best friend, but there's a awakening of your heart for the need to have others in it through the fall. Like real understand. So much so that you'll even risk things to get it. Like have people in your life. Judgment. This is coming up for everyone. Big decision. And then we have Three of Pentacles. Oh, Five of Pentacles, sorry. Someone needs you, Libra. A part of this, your desire to be connected with someone is not motivated by you wanting to help them. But once you're in that situation, there is going to be an event that happens in which there's going to be mutual support, but more importantly, I think it will be you helping this person. So you feel a destiny, you feel a purpose, you feel a need to go towards a certain connection. And it can vary based on person as to what it is. And then in the winter time, you're going to objectively look at what's happening, at these risks you were taking, emotional risks, and you're going to make a decision about it. And that decision will really play out from winter to spring. But I think the decision will be made in the winter. And I think it's going to be a real decision to of a supportive role, of helping, supporting, being a friend. Someone needs a friend. Like, I like this painting because she's sitting with the ballerina, right? It's that kind of like support, friendship, sitting by her side. You know, she's twisted her ankle or whatever. And so the woman is sitting by possibly her daughter, but it's that we're in it together, no matter what happens to one of us. You're putting your money where your mouth is, sort of thing. So at first it's driven by a deep passion. You have a calling. That's what I think. If I would call this reading anything, it feels like you have like something's already waking up in you, and you're like, I have to, even if you don't know what this is, who this is about, you just feel this urge. I have a calling. I have to go after this. This is, and then it starts making sense. You know, who is who and what is what. Okay. And this could be a second event from a previous situation, which means that this situation happened in the past and now it's happening again in a similar way. Maybe not with the same people, but there's similarities there for you. Okay? I'm going to do a second reading for members only. So I will post that when it's ready. I filmed about half of them already. So it'll be the same spread as I did now. So we'll see how they overlap. I don't remember what I said in the other ones, so this will be fun to see what the connection is. Gemini, last but not least, let's take a look at your spread. Did you guys have fun with me today? I had fun reading for you. And thanks again, everyone, for being here. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's see what your core energy is with the Sirius rising. Ace of Cups. Look at you go. Straight to business. Well, new love, new emotions, new relationships are possible. breakthroughs, new feelings, very exciting year ahead. It all starts now, you know, new emotions, understanding things on a new level, new connections, love, friendship. 9 of Cups. Ooh, look at this. Enjoyable company, wonderful company with others. And then we have the Prince of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries. I think that you're very much in the energy, Gemini, of really reaching for social company, social connections. You're very motivated by having fun. This is a core energy for the next year. Really branching out, really connecting. I have a feeling that you let go of some people recently in your friend circle, and you're reaching out to new friends, reaching out to new connections. That's your primary interest. It's very exciting. Prince of Wands. Hey, I'll do anything. Go have fun. You know, really enjoy myself. There's like this, it just feels like very exciting. Let's see the horizontal. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. And we have the 6 of Wands. Okay. Well, I think that you're redirecting your life in a big way over the next 9 months to a year. This is like a New Year's reading, so it really takes a look at the next 9 months. Definitely when Venus is Morningstar, but we can wait until next Sirius rising. It could go as far as that. I have a feeling that you are redirecting your life, Gemini, and I think you're seeking relationships. You're seeking fun. You're wanting to have a good time. I think this will be success. You will be around a lot of really wonderful people. But the outcome of this is going to be like your foundation's going to change, which means like where you live, where you spend time, where you're physically present is going to change. So you're not going to be where you are right now. You're going to be much more in different places around different people, okay? And in a material sense as well. So this could mean a possible move for some people, but it's going to be motivated by this excitement and search for new people, excitement and search for new, like, it's not going to be because you have to move and it's so terrible. You're going to be really driven by a desire to be in social company, and you're like, I need to go there, you know, that feeling. And I think around you, you're received very well. So the people you meet will really want to talk to you. They'll really want to connect with you. They will really want to be friends. Okay, let's see the next cards. We have the 3 of Pentacles. And then let's see the 2 of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, Moon in Libra. And the Devil. Don't be scared. That can be Capricorn. And the 5 of Wands. So there is a little bit of a warning here, but don't be worried, Gemini. Be careful of spending too much money on something in the springtime, because that can lead to stress. So if there's something that, you know, you feel like you have to invest a lot of money into to get what you want, because you're very ambitious over the next year, that could lead to a stressful feelings of stress. So don't overextend yourself in the spring. This fall, you're going to work really well, and you're going to feel like you're achieving the things you want. And then a reassessment will happen in December, and you're going to decide exactly, you know, what to do. There's a big question mark here. Like, you're going to be asking yourself where to go. I've achieved what I wanted to achieve in this level, and now I'm not sure where to go. And so we have ambition here, which means that, like, like, if I only buy this, then I will make it. If I only spend this much money, then you don't have to work so hard. So I think the message is you're ambitious. You want to put your effort in. You want to achieve certain things. You want to be successful. But it feels as though you're trying too hard, and that could lead to some setbacks. Whereas if you just let go and you let things happen naturally, then there won't be as many, like, don't feed the temptation. You're successful. The success will come without you trying so hard, overextending yourself, pushing yourself in such a hard way. I think that in the winter time, there's this, you're like looking at possibilities and nothing stands out as particularly the one. And I think that you may try to make something out of what you think is not specific yet. And I think that I would stay away from that kind of. Your energy is the best this year when you're creative, having fun. You're like, hey, they're having fun. I want to have fun too. I want to go over there. I want to do this. And this includes work. This isn't just wasting time. But this is seeking, these different, this is where your energy is the best. Where I see your energy falter is when the head starts going like, if I only spent this much money on a car, then there's liabilities that come with that. So fight the urge to overextend yourself. And when you feel the urge to overextend yourself, ask yourself, what do I want to be doing right now? Do those things. And I think that these worries that come up next spring and summer will be really a lot less. People like you, just everything's coming in its own way. And the Two of Swords feels like a fork in the road, but who cares that you don't have to make a decision? It just feels that way. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. I had fun reading for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for being here. I'll be back soon with more readings, but I'm glad we got to do this now. So take care, and I will speak with you soon. Take care.